Nigeria acted illegally, irresponsibly bringing Nnamdi Kanu back from Kenya, Supreme Court tells government, blames trial court for revoking bail. The Supreme Court, on Thursday, acknowledged that the Nigerian government acted illegally and irresponsibly when it forcefully brought the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu back to the country from Kenya. The Nigerian government in 2021 announced Kanu's arrest and extradition to Nigeria to continue to face trial. He was subsequently arraigned with a blindfold before Binta Nyako, a judge of the Federal High Court in Abuja. Kanu is facing charges bordering on treasonable felony instituted against him at the court following years of campaigning for the secession of the Republic of Biafra from Nigeria through IPOB. He was granted bail in April 2017 for health reasons but fled the country after the military attacked his house in Abia State, killing some people. However, the Apex Court on Friday faulted the rearrest and extrajudicial rendition of Kanu by the Nigerian government. The court also blamed the trial court for revoking Kanu's bail after fled the country following the invasion of his home by security agents.
The 3rd December, for us in the opposition lawmakers and opposition political parties who I speak for, this judgment today is very shocking to us because we missed an opportunity to lay the foundation and path for political resolutions of these issues. And it's so painful that the eminent jurists understood the issues, but in their conclusion decided to arrive at something that is still worrisome to us. And what is that? The Supreme Court agrees today that the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu from Kenya is illegal. That is the first victory that was recorded today. Then the Supreme Court also said today that the invasion of his house by the security agencies that led to killings and the man running to safety is also illegal. These are the foundations. And then the Supreme Court also goes further to say that the revocation of his bail ought not to have happened, thereby saying that he's supposed to be enjoying the freedom, which is the very foundation of this struggle up to Supreme Court. So now what happened? If the Supreme Court agrees that the extraordinary rendition from Kenya is illegal, and the Supreme Court agreed today that the invasion of his house is illegal, and the Supreme Court agreed today that he ought not to have been declared bail, then why is Nnamdi Kanu still in DSS custody today? The Supreme Court should have not only freed him, but lampooned those who committed those atrocities.
Yes.
And when they talk about some of these conventions that were cited by lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu are not national laws, I disagree. You know the extradition treaty that was signed by Malami, the Attorney General.
Yes.
That treaty, that act, condemned extraordinary rendition. So it's there in the law. Even as elementary law students, we are told method of forming laws, conventions, inclusive as well. So if you have international conventions that have been codified and ratified, they immediately becomes law. Like African Charter on Human Rights and so on and so forth will cite. These are laws. So why are you saying that we did not sign national law? National laws were cited. So for whatever reason, like I said, they are remitting back to the Federal High Court. We strongly believe that the first thing to do is to grant bail to Nnamdi Kanu. Let's go back to the foundation. It's to grant him bail. But let me also appeal to the president. I'm not saying he should interfere in judicial matters. But there is need for us to find a middle ground to bring peace to Southeast. Many things has gone wrong in the East. Is it that Nigerians don't feel for the destruction going on in the Southeast? Businesses are being burned to the ground. People are being killed. All sorts of criminal activities is going. Even security agencies are also being killed. And whenever anybody is killed in the East, they call it unknown gunmen. Don't we want, timely resolution of these issues? And we said that the first foundation is to grant Nnamdi Kanu unconditional bail, and then we'll commence that process of reconciliation and harmonization of these issues. People in the East are human beings. Everybody was expecting that this Christmas was going to be the first beginning of returning peace to the Southeast, because people were expecting, people were warming up for it. And then a few days to Christmas, the Supreme Court agrees that his arrest was illegal, that the rendition was illegal, that the invasion of his house was illegal, but he should remain in DSS custody. That's why I say it's a sad December. It's very painful. And I'm appealing. The president still have powers under the Constitution. You see, all these things we are going from Federal High Court to Appeal Court to Supreme Court still have a political solutions to it under the Constitution.
Well.
Under the Constitution, the president has powers to issue knowledge.
Yes,
that power is constitutional. So I'm appealing to the president that despite whatever has happened today in Supreme Court, thank God that the Supreme Court have ruled that the rendition from Kenya of Nnamdi Kanu is illegal. And thank God that the Supreme Court has also ruled today that the invasion of his house in Omahia was also illegal. And also, the Supreme Court has also agreed that he ought not have been denied his bail. Despite the final conclusion of not granting him bail today, the president, riding on this extract from the ruling of the Supreme Court today, can, as the father of the nation, issue a broadcast and then issue knowledge, discontinue the trial and grant him unconditional bail and commence the process for political and political solutions to the matter. So that at the end of the day, every part of Nigeria can come together on that principle of justice, equity, and fairness. So it's not we didn't lose anything today, but it's also surprising that the final conclusion we were expecting was not made. But it's also victory for us that the Supreme Court agrees that the rendition from Kenya was illegal, and that the invasion of his house in Omahia is also illegal, and that he ought not have been denied his bail. So it is victory for all of us who love democracy, justice, and fairness, despite that the fact that the Supreme Court have also refused releasing him by allowing the appeal by the federal government. But the president still have a role to play. That's why we're appealing to the president to exercise his constitutional power. Going by the extract from this positive extract from the judgment of the Supreme Court today is to issue knowledge and discontinue the trial and initiate the process for political resolution. Anybody that is telling you that the path to peace is endless incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is deceiving you.
Yes.
That person is enjoying the crisis, the killing and destruction in the East. Let's find a way. The president has been a Democrat, advocated for justice, equity, and fairness. Even in Nedeko, issues of Nedeko all about issues of constitutional rights, fairness, equity, and justice. This is what we have known the president over the years for. And we expect him, as somebody who has championed rule of law, as a Democrat, as a leading member of Nedeko, to understand the circumstances we're operating in today and use his presidential power and issue knowledge so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can go home. And we can now open the window and opportunity for final political resolution of this matter.